It would be ideal to process information using the rational decision-making model, which is a structured approach to making decisions using logic and reason to come to the most favorable outcome without bias. The steps to making rational decisions are: 1. A problem or opportunity is defined. 2. Objectives and goals are identified. 3. Objectives are weighed according to the importance of each. 4. Possible courses of action or alternatives are considered. 5. Each objective is rated according to how well it will achieve the goal. 6. Desired course of action. 7. The optimal decision is chosen. How managers make decisions. However, managers often don't have the time for the structured and step-by-step approach of rational decision-making. In situations where they have to make decisions as quickly as they come, they often lack relevant information to make fully rational decisions. Overall, managers are plagued with incomplete, imperfect, or misleading information, limited ability to background check to process information, limited time to decide, and conflicting preferences, incentives, or goals of organizational players.
Hey everyone, I'm very prepared for this meeting. That's for you.
All by myself.
Bruh.
When making decisions, we want to have inquiry mindsets, as opposed to having advocacy mindsets. What is the difference between advocacy versus inquiry decision-making mindsets? What is an advocacy mindset? A mindset that regards decision-making as a competition. How to notice an advocacy decision-making mindset. Someone who tries to persuade others, defends positions or stances, and downplays weaknesses. What is an inquiry decision-making mindset? A mindset that navigates decision-making with collaborative problem-solving. How to differentiate inquiry decision-making mindset from advocacy? Someone who 1. Tests and evaluates assumptions, 2. Presents balanced arguments, and 3. Considers alternatives and accepts constructive criticism. To cultivate better inquiry mindsets, managers should create an environment of psychological safety, where a team or workplace feel that it is safe to speak up, give feedback or decisions, feel valued, and openly discuss mistakes.
Next dog, his name's Scout. He's a really great dog, he's got a few problems, but it's really not that much of a concern. He's a really great dog at the pound. We would love for you to take him. He has all of his vaccines mostly, and no pressing concerns, really.
Are you sure?
Yes. When he just, sometimes when he doesn't have his toys, he gets a little temperamental, but that can all be fixed. We give him his toy. I see here it's your first dog. I think this would be a great. So here's our next dog. His name is Scout. He's a really great dog. He's temperamental. Scout, stop it! I promise he'll be okay. He'll be a good first dog for the family. Hey, stop it, Scout! Let me just talk to my team really quick about it. After discussing my team, I think I thought he was a good dog. I'm not sure if Scout's quite ready.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing.
Yes.
Similarly, it is extremely important to acknowledge heuristics, which are rules of thumb or decisions made on gut without thoroughly weighing the options. Decision-making can be affected by heuristics in situations where there are emergencies, inadequate knowledge on a subject, or where a decision is quickly needed. Heuristics enable us to make quick and efficient decisions, but are dangerous when applied to more important decisions because they create innate biases within decision-making, if not checked or reflected upon. There are 4 types of heuristics. A. Availability heuristic, making assumptions based on readily available information. B. Representativeness heuristic. Slotting situations or people into preformed categories related to stereotypes. C. Anchoring and adjustment heuristic. First impressions impact our choices based on the starting point. So even if we receive contrary information, our initial impression will still impact our decisions. D. Confirmation heuristic. When you already have made up your mind about a decision, so you neglect new information that may change said decision. Inclusivity management. It is important to be inclusive as a manager, especially when you are making decisions for other people, so that everyone can feel seen and work together efficiently. When managing, remember the importance of diversity, equity, and inclusion. Diversity. If there are differences in the workplace, aka diversity, managers need to focus on managing adaptively to differences and optimize those differences in backgrounds and opinions. Equity. You can't take a one-size-fits-all approach to managing people who are different from each other and may have to use different needs and values. Inclusion. This is the point. It ensures that everyone can bring their full selves to work without feeling excluded or unsafe. Good inclusivity management includes 1. Allows collaboration between people of different backgrounds and ideas. 2. Increases willingness to challenge the status quo, be humble about strengths and weaknesses, and be willing to reveal their own limitations. Culturally intelligent, motivational, cognitive, metacognitive, and behavioral. Be understanding and willing to learn about cultural differences. Is cognizant of bias. Very self-aware and act on that self-awareness. Acknowledge that their organizational processes inherently have unconscious bias and are willing to call these out. Collaborative. Focus on creating comfort for others to share their perspective. Encourage autonomy and empower teams to pursue diverse objectives. Problem solving / consumer concerns. Another aspect of decision-making for a manager is making decisions to problem solve and mitigate consumer concerns. 1. Prevents major issues to come in the future. 2. Help us brainstorm ideas and solve further issues for the customer. 3. Finding a balance between honoring preferences and taking leadership. 4. Take the feedback and make implementations for the future. 5. Reassure consumers about matters of the company. Conclusion. This module focused on key factors of the decision-making process that a manager should always keep in mind. The concept of rational decision-making is fundamental to processing information and making unbiased decisions, but how managers actually make decisions in practice can vary due to a lack of information. Managers should also discern the difference between advocacy and inquiry mindsets, seeking to foster inquiry mindsets among employees to create a space open to feedback. Managers should also acknowledge and keep heuristics in mind when making decisions in order to bypass first impression stereotyping, to better manage and curate an inclusive workspace where everyone can feel that they are a part of the team. Last but not least, managers should be able to problem solve in appropriate ways and answer consumer concerns with their leadership.